When life brings the blah, add more yabba dabba do with some tasty fruity pebbles. Early morning meeting, blah. Someone brought the pebbles, yabba dabba do. Run errands, blah. Head to the store for pebbles, yabba dabba do. Fruity pebbles, less blah, more yabba dabba do. Pick up Pebbles cereal today. Yabba dabba do and the Flintstones and all related characters and elements. Copyright and trademark Hanna-Barbera.
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Do you ever wonder if you might be at higher risk for getting very sick from a respiratory illness like flu? While most people have mild symptoms, respiratory illnesses can be more serious if you're over 65 years old or have certain underlying conditions. If you're in one of these higher risk groups and start feeling sick with a respiratory illness, get medical care as soon as possible. Talk to your doctor today about recommended vaccines. A message from CDC.
Oh my gosh, have you been to Marshall's lately? They have all the brand name and designer pieces you love, but without the jaw-dropping price tags. All right, so here's the truth. You should never have to compromise between quality and price. And at Marshall's, you don't have to. Marshall's believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. And that's why their buyers hustle around the clock to make it happen for you. Visit a Marshall's store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
You're listening to the Archaeology Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Rock Art Podcast. Join us every week for fascinating tales of rock art, adventure, and archaeology. Find our contact info in the show notes and send us your suggestions.
Hey out there in Archaeology Podcast land. This is your host, Dr. Alan Garfinkel, for episode 151 of the Rock Art Podcast. And we are really blessed and honored to have a real amazing individual. Her name is Shefa Salem, and she's from Libya in North Africa, and an artist of all things. In the 6 years we've been doing this, I don't think we ever had a guest scholar who would call himself or herself an artist. So, Shefa, we're really blessed to have you on board. How are you doing this evening?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be part of your great podcast.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, the way we kick this off usually is I give my guests an opportunity to do a little autobiographical portrait and tell our listeners about the history of how you got involved with this rather amazing passion to produce art that would capture the history of your country, Libya.
So, you know, as any artist, I guess, they start to discover they are interested in doing art. But my interest in archaeology came like later. It was like in my teenage years, I was interested in making culture work, like volunteer work. So I joined some NGO for culture work. And there I met someone that I consider him like my mentor. And he showed me like everything about Libyan history, which I know nothing about. I didn't have any source to know about Libyan history. So that was the beginning of me having interest in Libyan history. But it was very scary for me to do work about my heritage, my history, because for me it was like require a lot of research, a lot of technical skills. So it was like very hard thing to do. So I didn't really wanted to go that path. So I just put that aside. But years later, I found myself like in this rabbit hole, like it's not a choice anymore.
Yeah, Shefa, that's amazing. So it's been a bit of an evolution on your side in terms of the history of trying to see where your niche is in painting and in documenting, I guess, making alive the images and the architecture and the artifacts of archaeology. Am I correct?
Yes, because, it came from a need for that. We didn't really know about our history, and we have like very little archaeological work in Libya. So I found myself like this is what we need right now. This is about that. If I don't go through, maybe no one else will go through,
Well, one thing that when I read about you, which was interesting, is that one of your missions was to, in essence, unite the diverse strands of ethnicity and perhaps political, even associations, so that they could perhaps gain or acknowledge or understand or appreciate a bit more about their ancient history, their heritage, their background. Am I correct?
That's right. Because when you look at Libyan Rock Art, you can see a lot of diversity. You can also, for example, we have the round head period that's considered more as a black people, and after that you can see that they call it like white people. So when you look at the rock art, it can give you the diversity of this region. Like there's all ethnicities, and if we don't accept it ourselves, the rock art is going to tell us like it's a fact. You cannot play around it.
You can't avoid it, can you? It's right there on the stones. I guess I know a tiny bit about the rock art in your country, because I remember seeing a famous book and talking about a group of native people called the Tuareg, Tuareg, and I guess they're in the Sahara, right?
Exactly, yes.
And they have some of the most incredible rock art in the world, don't they?
They do, actually. It is very interesting group of people. They usually cover all their bodies, just leave the eyes, let's say. And they also call like the blue people because they wear like this fabric that makes their skin blue.
I remember seeing you talked about the round people. Don't they have a series of images of women, right, that look to be involved in some sort of ceremony, or that the women themselves are either goddesses or deities, or sometimes you call them supramundane beings, spirit beings. Am I correct or no?
Yes, this round head period, it's mixture between female and males, which may call them like gods or let's say shamans.
Yeah.
This period is particularly around the rain religion, the rain animals and the shamanism.
Yes. Yeah. And that is a practice worldwide, because water and rain, of course, is life. And especially for the areas that are dry or need that kind of water. And so it's interesting how sometimes certain figures are portrayed. And it's interesting to ask you, how do you see the women portrayed, and what role do you see in those pictures for women? Please.
This was part of like my last exhibition also, like the presence of women in this era, let's say. They have like a very huge part of the society, and maybe right now in our era is not as much. So I was focusing on this side to show them that women were shamans, women were a very important like religion personas. So yeah, that was one of the focuses
Images
of my last show.
Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting for a lot of reasons, because you know how the study of rock art, even science in general, has been very androcentric, very male-centered, and often even the identification or the direction or the understanding of women tends to be overlooked, doesn't it?
Yes, maybe, I don't know, is it because of the researchers being like mostly males, or because of maybe the figures is not as clear as anatomy? It's not as clear as
yeah.
As it,
a lot of times you can't. Right, exactly. But in the pictures that we see there in the Sahara Desert, that amongst the Tuareg or nearby, you can tell they're ladies, right?
Yes, for the roundhead period, it is very clear. They make a point to show that.
And how do they represent them as women? What part of the anatomy do they show that gives you that signature? Is it breasts, or is it?
Yes,
or is it
breasts,
okay.
And also like
and
a curved
genitals?
body, you know.
Yes,
yes. For males, more genitals, but for women's are curved body and breasts.
Yeah, that's very fascinating. Do we know how old those figures are? In the
yeah, chronology is not easy.
Not one of your specialties. No, it's not.
Yes, but the scholars say that they're like 12,000 BC.
12,000 BC. Oh my word!
Yeah,
wow.
To 9,000 BC. Yeah,
That's
it's a long period.
Very amazing. Very amazing.
Yes, I am fascinated about this period, because like if you see the drawings, it's very fantastic. Like you feel the competition, like this artist who made these paintings at that time.
Yes,
it's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, they're so gorgeous. The paintings are so gorgeous. It's
That's
just
right.
It's so amazing. You say, "Oh my word." Yeah, we have a competition here going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's stop it there, and we'll pick it up on the flip-flop for segment 2. Thanks, gang.
Surprise! Beach day. No excuses.
I'm in. Give me 5.
With Bic Soleil Glide Razor, you'll have hydrated, smooth skin that's ready to go on the fly. No shave cream needed. You can prep, shave, and hydrate all in one step, thanks to moisture bars that hydrate your skin during and after shaving. 5 flexible blades hug your skin for a close shave. Glide into smooth. It's your time to shine with Bic Soleil. Buy now at Amazon and Walmart.
Ready?
Your skin looks amazing. So smooth and beach ready. Let's go!
Here's a question. How can you keep from getting sick with a respiratory illness this season? The good news is, everyday actions can help you stay well and stop the spread. Wash your hands, take steps for cleaner air, and try to avoid close contact with people who are sick. And talk to your doctor about what vaccines may be right for you, so you can help keep yourself and your loved ones healthy. Learn more at cdc.gov/respiratory-illnesses. A message from CDC.
Oh my gosh, have you been to Marshall's lately? They have all the brand name and designer pieces you love, but without the jaw-dropping price tags. All right, so here's the truth. You should never have to compromise between quality and price. And at Marshall's, you don't have to. Marshall's believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. And that's why their buyers hustle around the clock to make it happen for you. Visit a Marshall's store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.
Lowe's knows how to help make your home holiday ready for less. Get Select Style Selections vinyl flooring for just $1.99 per square foot and have it installed before the festivities begin. Our team can help you every step of the way. See a Lowe's Red Vest associate or visit Lowe's.com/holiday install to get started. Lowe's, we help, you save. Basic install only. Date restrictions apply. Subject to availability. Installed by independent contractors. See associate for details. Contiguous U.S. only.
I'm turning it over to Shefa to open us up for this segment 2. Go ahead, Shefa.
أتمنى من شعبي إن يعرفوا قيمة التاريخ اللي يملكوه، وأتمنى أيضا إن تسخر طاقات أكثر لاكتشاف هذا التاريخ الذي لم ينتهي بعد. So I just said, I wish for my people to know their history, and I wish that they dedicate more power to research more about our history, because like Libya is very full of rock art that haven't been discovered, and it might be more important that we have already been knowing about.
And of course, I would echo that, and I asked Shefa to speak in her native language, which she did, and to say a bit of a prayer to open us up. So Shefa, I think that what you're trying to do is admirable, and I think you're using your talent as an artist to, how would you put this, to bring back the visibility of the ancient history of the artisans that memorialize their wishes and their desires on the rocks, and you've made it anew and presented these beautiful murals, these large murals that pay homage, express the passions of those people. And I think that those would also be relevant to the contemporary society in bridging the gaps, whatever they might be, politically, gender-wise, etc., and for whatever other reason, to have them acknowledge this remarkable ancient history and give them some knowledge and understanding of the remarkable past that exists in Libya.
Yes, it's fascinating how rock art can present itself in like very other areas, like not only archaeological, let's say political, and let's say in our society, like to give them like a new perspective about themselves. This shows us that rock art is never just a rock, it's a living creature.
Right, and to the native people, of course, the pictures and the rocks were alive. They were life, and the images were not just stagnant. They were the real energy, the energetics, the people, the passions, the knowledge, the power was emblazoned upon those rocks. You did one painting of what's called the Kaska dance. Tell us a bit about that, would you?
Yes, actually, this dance is still in our days. They dance this in some like Tuareg dance this dance, and also like in some like, let's say, events here in, let's say, I live in Benghazi. It's more into the seashore, so it's not like a very desert. They do this dance, but just like a folklore, not as a, let's say, very heritage thing, but more of folklore, not like Tuareg in Sahara. They practice this dance with swords and stuff like that. So this dance is about the water, as always. So it's a fight between two tribes.
It's a fight, yeah.
Yes, it's a fight between two tribes. One tribe, the women came to take the water inside a jar. So the other tribe came and said, no, don't take the water. So they start fighting with this dance.
With swords?
Yes, with swords.
And you said you were inspired to do a painting on that from a panel of rock art. Am I correct?
Yes, it was like a political painting because we just have been in a civil war, and the two parties are clearly fighting for the life resources. In our era, it is not water, it's oil.
Yes.
I played with this
idea.
Yes.
It's amazing how the parallels across millennia stay the same. People remain the same. They still are interested in aggrandizing themselves and gathering up resources and fighting over territory and resources and politics and power. And certainly that's something that can be perceived in the rock art as well as in the population today. Am I correct?
Yes, they always say history repeats itself.
Yeah, history always repeats itself. So your paintings are very realistic, I noticed. I mean, it looks like you could just walk up and step into them. The people are very realistic, and the colors that you use are very vibrant. And how do you put it? You know, it captures a moment in time, but it's more than that. It seems like the people are very real and very modeled after others. Do you find that difficult, or is that something you've learned to do, to capture a moment in time and somehow portray it with paint?
Yes, I very much like your note, because I make attention to make my painting very big as a murals. And when you stand on front of the painting, you feel like you are part of the painting, because the people inside of the painting are 1-to-1 ratio, like they are real size. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you feel like you are inside the scene, you are one of them.
Was it very difficult to get involved in this particular niche? How does an artist, get compensated? How do you deal with gaining a reputation? What's it like being an artist?
It is hard to step into like another criteria than yours. Like I studied architecture, and I am more interested in archaeology right now. So stepping into another field is, for some people, might feel like I am stepping over some boundaries. But, rock art needs to be interpreted. And if maybe artist doesn't do that, maybe archaeologists can't do that, because it's more like academic thing. So maybe I have more freedom to interpret Libyan rock art, and that's why I do what I do,
Well, I think that art history and art and archaeology sometimes go very well together. And there are some people who are artists that have become archaeologists and find that they can use their art background, art history and artistry, in terms of appreciating and even academically talking about the rock art. But it's rare to find someone who has the ability to take those images, get inspired such that they can then create some sort of a masterpiece from the inspiration of the rock art. But that's what you're doing, isn't it?
Yes, it's not easy, let's say, because, you have to think about the surroundings, the environment of the painting. You have to think about what did these people wear. Sometimes it's like a stick figure. You have to figure out what they're wearing. And so it involves a lot of research and, let's say, courage to do that. So
yes, also, it certainly does.
Also,
absolutely.
Being the painting is realistic. It takes me a lot of time to finish one painting. Sometimes it takes me like,
and because it's 1-to-1, it's 1-to-1 realistically, and it's 1-to-1 in dimensions, in size. That's unbelievable. I did not know that. Well, let's cut it off there. Thanks. We'll try and do a bit of a study, a synopsis on segment 3. See you on the flip-flop, gang.
Surprise! Beach day. No excuses.
I'm in. Give me 5.
With Bic Soleil Glide Razor, you'll have hydrated, smooth skin that's ready to go on the fly. No shave cream needed. You can prep, shave, and hydrate all in one step, thanks to moisture bars that hydrate your skin during and after shaving. 5 flexible blades hug your skin for a close shave. Glide into smooth. It's your time to shine with Bic Soleil. Buy now at Amazon and Walmart.
Ready?
Your skin looks amazing. So smooth and beach ready. Let's go!
Do you ever wonder if you might be at higher risk for getting very sick from a respiratory illness like flu? While most people have mild symptoms, respiratory illnesses can be more serious if you're over 65 years old or have certain underlying conditions. If you're in one of these higher risk groups and start feeling sick with a respiratory illness, get medical care as soon as possible. Talk to your doctor today about recommended vaccines. A message from CDC.
Oh my gosh, have you been to Marshall's lately? They have all the brand name and designer pieces you love, but without the jaw-dropping price tags. All right, so here's the truth. You should never have to compromise between quality and price. And at Marshall's, you don't have to. Marshall's believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. And that's why their buyers hustle around the clock to make it happen for you. Visit a Marshall's store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Welcome back, gang. We're on segment 3 of episode 151. Our guest scholar, Shefa Salem from Libya, a noted artist. And she's going to bring us in this third segment, kind of from soup to nuts, how she starts and how she researches and what she sees and how it comes out. Shefa, it's all yours.
Okay, so for this painting, at first, I look for like a subject, like which rock art I'm going to be working with. So this painting is in Acacus. I found it at first in Maury's book, it's called, and Maury wrote under this painting that this figure upside down because he's dead. So all of this painting with this upside down person is talking about a funeral. It's like a ceremony of a funeral. And being there's a boat, so it's more like a journey that they have to take with this dead body. Also, like to mention that this cave, which includes this painting, had the Libyan mummy. It is like very old mummy before even the Egyptian mummy. So I imagine that this mummy in the painting, I mean, this dead person in the painting is the same as the mummy. So I took this mummy, put it on the boat, and imagined that this ceremony is all for this small baby that have been mummified. For the technical part, after like imagining what the scene is going to be, comes the part where I look for my models. You know, in Libya, we don't
you have to have models.
Yes, I look for models. Yeah, so I start looking for like my friends, my friends, something like that, because we don't have a job as a model in Libya. Yeah, so I have to fix this problem with this way. So after I get the models for the painting and arrange everything as I want, I make a sketch how I want to put everything in its place, what the environment around the painting will be. And after that, it all comes easily, not as hard as sketching the idea or researching or even looking for the model.
So in the boat, there's a dead baby covered up, I believe. But I think you had a woman in there and maybe men as well, or no?
Yes, there was a man, I think 2 men.
Yes.
Because, it have been some years for me to work on this painting. So I think there is 2 men and 1 woman and a mummified baby. So this mummy was called one muhjaj. It's a mummy of a small child.
Small child.
Yes. So that's what I worked around.
And it was covered up and it was in a boat. Now, how did you get the environment? How did you guess what the environment was like? How did you understand the landscape side of it?
So, being this ceremony is done on a boat, so there must have been a river or a lake to put the boat in. So that's why I mentioned that in this era, there have been some water zones, let's say. This is for the part of the water. And for the background, there's mountains in Libya called Black Mountains. It's like from volcanoes. So yeah, this was background of the painting. And this is why I mentioned that this is like a small lake of water inside the desert before it is like totally a desert. And in the background is the mountains where you can find this rock art, and they are doing this ceremony.
Fantastic. Now, you had to find, I guess, 2 men and a woman who would be your models, right?
Yes.
And how did you go about selecting them? Did they have any characteristics that you looked for, or were they just friends, or how do you go about that?
No, they have to be like according to my imagination. Yeah, sometimes I particularly look for age, let's say, sometimes the face structure, let's say, something like that, something to give me the feeling that I have in my mind what I imagined the painting to be. Sometimes I don't get exactly what I need, but I do adjustment myself to get what I need,
And sometimes the faces show emotion or sorrow or anything like that?
Yes, for this particularly, the funeral one, the women had to be like feeling much of emotions because I imagine that there must be some family members inside this boat. It's not only, let's say, maybe I put in the back the shaman, and I imagine the other persons is going to be a family members.
Sure.
Yeah, so they have to show some emotions.
And then when you complete these particular paintings, they're murals and they're large. Where are they shown? Do they remain there? Do people buy these, or are they part of a moving sort of exhibition? How is that done?
So when I do my paintings, I already plan an exhibition. I try to make solo exhibition to make a coherent story, So I had like 2 solo exhibitions, traveling one. I start from my hometown in the east and go to the west to show it in the capital of my country. And after that, I have some paintings right now. They are owned by the museum in Tripoli. And some others are owned by individuals.
Fantastic. Well, is there anything else you think you could share with our listeners in terms of your purpose, your passion, and what they should learn or glean from this interview?
So I am doing this particularly for me at first and for my country second. For me, because I am part of this population, and if I want to feel like I belong to this country, I have to know my history, like who I am, where I come from, who's my ancestors, and this is very like blacked out of our memory. This is why I'm doing it. I'm trying to revolve like this memory, and sometimes I'm reconstructing some memories because it's like falsely presented.
And you enjoy it?
Very much. It's a rabbit hole, if you start digging in the history, you cannot stop, like one lead takes you to another and you cannot stop.
It's a daisy chain. I call it endlessly engaging. Yeah. Rock art studies and history and science and research is endlessly engaging.
And it's full of dopamine,
It's a lot of fun, and it's enjoying, and it also is edifying. And if we're lucky, occasionally you get an epiphany and you go, I think I understand. Well, Shefa Salem, you're fabulous. I was honored to have you on our program, and thank you for sharing your life with us.
Thank you for having me.
See you in the flip-flop, gang. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Rock Art Podcast with Dr. Alan Garfinkel and Chris Webster. Find show notes and contact information at www.arcpodnet.com/rockart. Thanks for listening, and thanks for sharing this podcast with your family and friends. The Archaeology Podcast Network is 10 years old this year. Our executive producer is Ashley Airy, our social media coordinator is Matilda Siebrecht, and our chief editor is Rachel Roden. The Archaeology Podcast Network was co-founded by Chris Webster and Tristan Boyle in 2014 and is part of Cultural Media and DigTech LLC.
This has been a presentation of the Archaeology Podcast Network. Visit us on the web for show notes and other podcasts at www.arcpodnet.com. Contact us at chris@archaeologypodcastnetwork.com.
Surprise! Beach day. No excuses.
I'm in. Give me 5.
With Bic Soleil Glide Razor, you'll have hydrated, smooth skin that's ready to go on the fly. No shave cream needed. You can prep, shave, and hydrate all in one step, thanks to moisture bars that hydrate your skin during and after shaving. 5 flexible blades hug your skin for a close shave. Glide into smooth. It's your time to shine with Bic Soleil. Buy now at Amazon and Walmart.
Ready?
Your skin looks amazing. So smooth and beach ready. Let's go!
Hey, Fidelity. How can I remember to invest every month?
With the Fidelity app, you can choose a schedule and set up recurring investments in stocks and ETFs.
Oh, that sounds easier than I thought.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Now, where did I put my keys?
You will find them where you left them.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Here's a question. How can you keep from getting sick with a respiratory illness this season? The good news is, everyday actions can help you stay well and stop the spread. Wash your hands, take steps for cleaner air, and try to avoid close contact with people who are sick. And talk to your doctor about what vaccines may be right for you, so you can help keep yourself and your loved ones healthy. Learn more at cdc.gov/respiratory-illnesses. A message from CDC.
Oh my gosh, have you been to Marshall's lately? They have all the brand name and designer pieces you love, but without the jaw-dropping price tags. All right, so here's the truth. You should never have to compromise between quality and price. And at Marshall's, you don't have to. Marshall's believes everyone deserves access to the good stuff. And that's why their buyers hustle around the clock to make it happen for you. Visit a Marshall's store near you or shop online at marshalls.com.
Your sausage McMuffin with egg didn't change. Your receipt did. The sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal includes a hash brown and a small coffee for just $5. Only at McDonald's for a limited time.
Prices and participation may vary.